Hello, you Velo Harmony legends, guys and girls, YouTubers. Welcome to Velo Harmony. Today I want to talk about how you get back into training after an injury or illness. This is one of the more challenging things that all athletes face. It's hard to recognize when you need to take some time off, and it's hard on the mind thinking that you're missing out. So you want to look at it this way. Your body is not going to improve if you take energies away from it that it could use to heal, to train, because you have a finite amount of energy. So we were always told that if you have like a head cold, anything above the neck, you can still ride. You would ride easier because sometimes it helps to clear like congestion and so forth. But anything below the neck, as far as coughs and even bronchitis and stuff like that, you don't need to ride, because that's pretty serious. You have to use all the energy your body has to heal. You're not going to be missing out. Yeah, the other riders are riding and so forth, but you are not going to improve if you try to train while you're ill or while you're injured. So I'm going to talk about illness first, and then we'll talk about injury. So let's say I've had situations where usually in the winter, like between December to February, there's a lot of stuff going around. And many years ago, from time to time, I would catch different colds, or sometimes it even got serious and it was bronchitis, and I had to be on antibiotics for a week. Yeah, it's on your mind. You want to ride because you made all these plans of things that you wanted to do throughout the year, but you have to realize that you can make plans and then life happens. So you got to really step back and give your body a chance to heal. So I was on antibiotics for 7 days. And for those 7 days, I did not ride. The first 2 days on antibiotics, it wasn't a question of whether I wanted to ride or not. I had no energy to do anything else. I was feverish and so forth. So you just can't ride anyway. And then about day 3 or 4, I started feeling better. And then there's a tendency you want to get back out there. No, you've got to go through the program that your doctor gave you and make sure. So I did the full 7 days of the antibiotics. And by day 10, I just got up anxious to ride. And that's when I went out. And when I went out, there were no heart rate monitors or nothing. I just went out and rode my bike. Just whatever was comfortable, just to be out there. And that's the key. Let your body heal. Wait till you feel like your old self again. And if there's a doubt, rest another day or so. The extra days will help. You're not missing out, because you want to get back into training when you're 100% healthy. And when you get back into training, don't go back into hard training. Give yourself at least a week or 2, sometimes 3, before you get back on your full program. Cut the volume, definitely cut the intensity. You're doing zone 1, zone 2 at most. If you have your gadgets, you're just going conversational pace when you get back. That's it. Take it easy. Give yourself at least 2 to 3 weeks to get back. We were told as young racers that every week you take off from cycling, you need at least 2, sometimes 3 to get back to the same condition. And we're talking about high level, high level fitness. You take off a week, you need 3 to get back properly, the easy way. There's an easy way to get back in shape, and there's a hard way to get back in shape. So you take some time off for whatever reason, whether it's illness or families visiting or whatever. You've got to at least, even if you got to write it down, because some people seeing it on paper, they can follow it. Every week you don't ride, you need at least 2 to get back. 2 weeks of training to get your body back. So make sure you, in your mind, you don't try to force yourself back. That's when you have even more injuries. You're trying to do things before your form is there. So for example, you go on holiday, and you take off 2 to 3 weeks. You've got to gauge at least, I've been off for 3 weeks. You need at least a month to 6 weeks. Give yourself that. It's going to vary depending on how much training you were doing before. And that's why I'm giving you this gauge. 2 for 1 is a good gauge. And that's what I use, because you'll feel when you're back. So you're not forcing anything. Now I'm going to jump on to injuries. If the injury you had, let's say you hurt your leg or you hurt your knee, if it has something to do with your bike or your bike fit, make sure that's addressed Otherwise, it will continue because you're pedaling thousands of strokes when you go to ride. So you know, when you have an injury, that's a serious problem because it's going to keep reoccurring if you don't address what caused it. If the injury happened because of a crash or something off the bike or whatever, follow your regimen for healing. If you do get on a bike, nothing strenuous. Zone 1 and Zone 2 again, easy. So if you hurt your knee and you can still ride, don't go start pushing big gears and all that stuff. Get in an easy gear and get your cadence up and just float on the pedals. Easy, you know, like your small chain ring and way up in the back. Just easy, less than a 60-inch gear. You know, that's like you could ride like a 39, 23, depending on your level that you're at. But easy, no strain, no pain. And ride till you're 100%. And one of the videos I made, my buddy Paul hurt his back at home, and he's been going under a regimen to heal. And he was telling me that sometimes he forgets and he tries to go too hard, and his back tightens up, and it reminds him that you got to take it easy. You know, you use your back when you cycle. That's why it aches when you don't have a strong core. We have a lot of large muscles up our back, and we use that. So you've got to make sure that you take it easy. It's hard to be patient and let your body recuperate because you think you're missing out because the other guys are going. But it comes down to physiology, okay? I'll use this example. Maybe it'll set your mind at ease. When I used to race, the engine I have, I need a lot of miles to be ready, okay? I realized that I've got to ride lots to get ready. I had guys on my team that would party all week, you know, goof off, and then come to the race and smash it. It used to piss me off. So it comes down to physiology. You're not missing out. Somebody can train all they want. It doesn't mean they're not going to beat you if you have the talent, the God-given talent, the genetics, and all of that. So the best example I can use is I have a natural ability to sprint. I've always had that. I used to do track. I played basketball. I did just sports, explosive sports. If you don't have those talents, you can train for sprint all you want. If I'm in condition, you're still not going to be able to beat me. So I could ride all the miles I wanted. I'm not going to beat a person who genetically just has a larger VO2 or whatever. So I've got real good lung capacity because I've done the sports testing over the years when I used to compete. But I found out through that my engine needed a lot of miles to get in shape. So you got to know yourself. And so the reason I'm going that route with this video is that if you know that you need, say, 12 weeks before you're ready to be informed, then it really doesn't matter. If you get sick, you're still going to need 12 weeks. If you're not sick, you're still going to need 12 weeks. So if you have an injury or an illness, you still got to know that, okay, I got to give myself this time to be there. The one single most important thing I want to mention is that after covering everything about, you know, whether you're injured or whether you're ill or whatever, and you're supposed to take it easy, the one thing you cannot forget, you planned to do A, you got sick. You didn't plan on getting sick. That means you need to revisit that plan. And maybe you don't do that sportif that's coming up in a month or two. Maybe you cancel it and do something else that's coming up later when your training gets you back in form. So don't stick to the original plan when life throws you curves. You get injured, you get sick, whatever. Change the plans so you can rest your mind and get back on your new plan. You got to change the plan when you get those bumps in the road. Don't forget to do that because that puts a lot of pressure on you. Because if you've had a setback, you can't expect to have the same objectives. Okay, even the pros do that. So, like I said before earlier in the video, you can plan, and that's all it is a plan. And then life happens. So sometimes it goes according to your plan, and that's great. And when it doesn't, you need to be flexible and you need to adapt. That's the key. Do not forget that. So that means if you do hook up with the group, sit in. Sit in. The last group ride I showed, there was a guy wearing a BMC jersey. His name is Alan. a BMC black and white jersey, and he was in there. You probably didn't see him participating in all the attacks or whatever. He's one of the fastest guys in the group. He had been on vacation for like, I'm saying 3 weeks plus. He hadn't been riding. Early in the video, for those of you who watched it, when I greeted him, the first thing he said was, everything's great, I just haven't been riding. You know, because that's the way we are. That's what's important. We haven't been riding. So what I said to him, well, that's okay. But he recognized that his form was not there. So in that ride, he just hung in, he rode, he stayed in the draft. He didn't go with any attacks because he would have been forcing it. So he actually mentioned to me at one of the stops that he hadn't been riding. I told him, well, you need 2 to 3 weeks and so forth. So the fact that he had the discipline to stay in there just comes from his experience, the years of riding. You've got to use that same approach. You can go and ride with the group, but if they're going too fast and you just came back from illness, let them go. Let them go. Don't strain yourself. You know where you are. You know what you're trying to accomplish. So you take it easy, or you don't even go to the group ride till you're ready. Ride by yourself. Do your program for, say, 6 weeks until you get to the point where you say, okay, I need a faster ride, and then you hook it. Use the group for your plan. Let the group get you where you want to go. I know it's hard from a mental standpoint to hold yourself back because we get all excited. You know what you used to be able to do, and you want to go do it. And then you forget that you haven't done the work because you've been sick, injured, or whatever. And that's the reason why a lot of coaches recommend that you have a training diary, because somehow seeing things will keep you in check. So you have to be disciplined. And that's what's funny. You know, Paul and I, my buddy, we always joke. Like some cyclist, we'll be riding, he and I will be riding and we're talking, and we'll notice we'll get passed by a cyclist and he's like full gas, out of breath, and then as soon as he goes up, say maybe 10 yards in front of us, he says hi as he comes by, and he goes up 10 yards and then he's like, he unravels. And it's because people have a tendency to go around and always want to keep up with other cyclists, whether they're riding together or not. So this particular example I'm using, he's been chasing us for whatever reason, not realizing we're just out chatting that day. We're not, this is not a workout where we're setting any land speed records. So he killed himself, comes by, and then unravels. I'm using that to mention that you got to always be on control. Don't just go out there and just follow people. You need to have a plan before you leave home. You need to have a plan for every ride. If you're planning to go to get a group, fine. Go get a group, ride with them. But if you know that you're supposed to take it easy, even if you hook up with a group, ride the wheels that day. Sit in the back. You will still get the conditioning. Sit in the back. If the group splits, stay with group B. If it splits, stay with group C. No problem with that. Stay within yourself. Stay within your program and be disciplined. That's what it takes. So once you're back from illness or injury and back on the bike, you can't just go back to your fastest speeds or your fastest rides. You have to go, just like you have to walk to run, you have to go easy to go fast. Most of my training is easy. So when I do want to go fast, I go really fast, balls out. So don't worry about it. When your body is in condition, it doesn't matter how many miles the other people have been putting in. You have what you have. It doesn't really matter. You can ride all you want. At some level, the improvements are so small. That's the reason why people are talking about power meters and all those things, so they can even squeeze out the little extras. Because, you can only take your body's gifts so far. If somebody is more talented, no matter what you do, they're still going to be there. So whatever you have, you will still be able to build it. Now, you may not be keeping up with the group in February, but maybe by April, because you were sick, but maybe by April, May, and June, you'll be back. It doesn't really matter. And even when all of you are in shape, let's say everybody in the group didn't have any problems, you're all in shape, there's still someone faster at something, either going up a hill or in a sprint or whatever. So all you try to do is do your best. Don't worry about the other people. Focus on you and what you need to do. So I'm going to stop there. I think that I kind of hit the spots. I'll summarize by saying that if you're sick, injured, get up not feeling well, whatever, listen to your body. It's not just illness that must keep you in check. Now, a lot of times I'll get up in the morning. The last ride I did, Saturday that I recorded, I don't know if you guys, the guys that watch it, if you remember, I started the vlog by saying, if I have good legs, I'm going to play. I don't know how many of you pay attention to like Le Mans. That's one reason I like him. I'd never heard Le Mans say, I'm going to smash them tomorrow, or I'm going to win the Tour tomorrow. He would always in an interview say, well, let's see how I feel when we get in the mountains. Let's see how, because no one ever knows what the body is going to be doing. The body is an amazing machine, but you can never predict what your body's condition is going to be until you get out there and get in the situation. I follow Greg's career because he's been, been an inspiration to me. A lot of times he would do races like the World Championship race, that 1989 wet World Championship race that Greg won. He was feeling crappy early in the race. He actually almost quit that race. And then hours later, he started feeling great and ended up winning the race. So you never know. You can train, follow your plan perfectly. You never know what you're going to do. I've been to races where I did my plan and turned out that I hadn't been getting enough sleep. I had crappy legs, didn't understand it. I was very frustrated until we figured it out later. So when you get out there to go ride, listen to your body. You can go out and say, man, I'm going to take it easy today. And you get out. If you're feeling great, yeah, then fine. Go balls out. If you're not feeling great, either sit in the wheels or let the group go. You don't owe anybody anything. You need to stay within yourself, stay true to yourself. There's no point going in there and hurting yourself. So anyway, I'm going to stop here. And then you guys, it's a beautiful day today. It's Friday. We're getting ready. The weekend's coming. So I'm off today. And I'm just going to kind of hang out and get ready, do a lot of errands today and get ready for the weekends. I don't like to do errands after I ride on Saturdays. So I just wanted to knock out this video and let you guys know that if you're sick and you're coming back from illness, don't push it. Take it easy. If it means that you must ride by yourself, since you lose control in the group, then ride alone until nobody can tell you when you're feeling good. Only you can know it. So with that, be safe when you're out there. We'll see you out on the roads.